Okay, we are live in the training room and we are getting ready to get started. It is absolutely my pleasure to be here, of course, as we are each and every Wednesday night. Been looking forward to training tonight and getting everything started and rocking and rolling. As you check in, just let me know that you can hear me okay and that the sound is good, the volume is where it needs to be. It's the Christmas season, and I'm excited and I'm happy and all that good jolly stuff. It's Christmas weather here for sure. It's cold outside. It's been cold, been down in the 20s already. Very unusual for this time of year. But hey, Mark, how you doing, buddy? How's Jacksonville, Florida? Supposed to get 70, like 65 or 70 on this Saturday here. And then the low that night's going to be 22. So I guess that's what, a 50-degree drop from the time. Hey, Jack, how you doing, buddy? 50-degree drop from the time we wake up on Saturday morning till we go to bed on Saturday night. That is absolutely crazy. I mean, I've never. Hey, Bob, how you doing, buddy? Got this week's training and next week's training. We will have training next week, and I'll talk a little bit about that at the end of tonight's training. Going to have a special training next week. Going to show you one more thing that you can put together and go out and sell and make a ton of residual income on. And then on the 4th of January, we are going to start our bundling training, and that's going to go on for 2 or 3 weeks, I'm sure. But next week, I want to go through, and we're just going to have a quick training, end of year, say Merry Christmas, ho, 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 and hope everybody the absolute best. People still checking in, and but we're going to get started. It is 8 o'clock here in the big state of Texas. It is outside, got the heater on, and I was sitting in the living room earlier, and I couldn't figure out why it was so cold. And I've been doing some rearranging today in my studio and moving some things around. Got a new desk and some things, and I kept thinking, man, why is it so cold? And I forgot that when I was doing that work. Hey, Jack, how you doing, buddy? How's Barstow? And I turned off the heat, and it's about 40 degrees outside. I turned off the heat and opened up a window. And then the sun went down, and I was freezing to death. So, but let's rock and roll. We got people coming in still. It's good to see everybody. It's good to have you here. We have people that are watching from actual YouTube channel, and we've got people that are inside the webinar system. So we're going to rock and roll and just move right along. My name is Kerry Miller. I am with the AppWizardStudio team. We are here each and every Wednesday night for training. And it's, hey, Bill, how you doing, buddy? And it's always a pleasure to be here on Wednesday night. If you have not joined our Facebook, new Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/AWS Mastermind. I will say, if you're on the training and you're not a part of Instant App Wizard, I check each and every person that checks in. This is for our members only. There is a ton of great information and good conversation that goes on in this mastermind group. You can learn a lot from several of our resellers that are successful, and those that are climbing the ladder to success very quickly. So just go to facebook.com/groups. Let me see here. I think I've got this where I can turn this on. Yeah, there it is right there. Let me turn that on for you guys. Let me load that and let me display it. And now you just can click. You can click on that right on the right-hand side. If you're inside the training area, you can click on that and go right in. If I decline you, that means I did not find you in our database, and maybe you signed up under a different name than you are in Facebook. So just shoot me an email, and I'll be more than happy to take care of that. 2017, man, can you believe 2017 is here? It boggles my mind as I sit here and I prepare for the new year and putting some new things together and doing some things that 2017 is upon us. And I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I'm gonna venture out in 2017. Gonna add some new product line to my tool bag, and gonna make things happen in 2017. I've got specific goals that I've made, and I'm looking forward to doing that and working hard again next year. And I love every minute of everything I do. And if you love what you do, it's never work. Just a quick disclaimer, as I will add each and every week, I can lead you to water, but I cannot make you drink. You have to put something in if you want something out. In other words, I cannot guarantee just because you're watching training tells create any traffic or increase your income. Every person is different, has different work ethics and different desires. With that said, tonight's training, we're going to continue talking about business strategies. And are you ready for 2017? What are you going to do to make 2017 better than 2016? What have you already started preparing to do to make 2017 better than 2016? And we're going to talk tonight. Tonight's going to be a little bit different. We're on the same subject. We're going to be talking about the same things. We're going to be finishing up tonight your plan for 2017. And I hope that each week after training, you sit down. Tonight's going to be very straightforward and very upfront. I've had some questions asked me this week that kind of blew my mind, and I've been watching the Facebook group and the conversations in Facebook. And you know, Facebook is kind of it's a good and it's an evil. You can really tell where people's heads are at and what they're doing in their lives by just watching Facebook, especially their business life. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit tonight. And I'm going to use some analogies from my life and some things that I've gone through and done. But I want you to pay attention tonight, because tonight is probably going to hit some of you right between the eyes, and you're going to say, wow, I've never thought about it that way. Last week, we talked about being grateful, and I've got some Zig slides again tonight. Be grateful for what you have and stop complaining. It bores everybody else, does you no good, and doesn't solve any problems. I love Zig Ziglar. He is a great man. I've been following him basically since I could read, and I was in the United States Navy recruiter, and off this thing here, because people are texting me as I'm training. He wrote the Navy training course for Navy recruiters, and his team did, and so he's very near and dear to my heart. And we also talked about clearing the clutter, eliminating the excess, getting everything off your desk so that you can focus, you can look where you're at and see where you're going, and not be all over the map. So many times, man, we get so many ideas in our head and so many things in our head, and we want to do this and that and this and that. If you just will clear the clutter and eliminate all the excess and focus on exactly what you want to do, and when you get good at what you're doing, then focus on something else. I can tell you now from experience that you're going to have much greater success in this business than you've ever had in anything else you've done. And you can also apply what we're talking about, not just to the mobile app business, but to life, to your other businesses that you own. If you're in another business, this what we're teaching on tonight question has effect on everything you do, from personal life to your professional life, no matter where you're at or what you're doing. And tonight we're going to start, where you start is not as important as where you finish. Another great Ziggy. We get so complicated in all the things we do. We make everything so complicated. I watched a Facebook about these videos, and I'm going to tell you how complicated we make things. Many of you bought that program, which I think is absolutely amazing. I was talking to Kenny Dutton yesterday, I think it was, and I told him I kicked myself in the butt that I've not been selling videos all along. I did not realize how easy it was. And I sat and watched the post in Facebook. Woodrow is a video master. He's got a sales rep that's selling video packages bundled with apps for $400 and a couple $100 a month residual. And we're going to start talking about bundling next month on January the 4th. I've seen people in the Olympics start a race and you think, man, that dude's slow. What's he even running in the Olympics for? Next thing you know, he comes around turn 3 and he's 100 meters ahead of everybody else. Business is the same way. Don't worry about where you are today. Know where you're going to be December of next year, and know that you're going to finish much better than you finished this year. We're going to talk about segmenting your priorities, and I think this is the biggest mistake most of us make, and I'm one. I struggled with this probably all my life, taking my priorities and writing them down and saying, okay, I've got to finish this, I've got to do this. You have to make time to share, accomplish, and create success, not just for yourself, but for others. Success isn't just what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do. And in the business that you're in, whether you believe it or not, you literally are changing businesses every single day. You never know when you're talking to a business out there, talking to a new client, how truly close they are to closing the doors. They're just a few dollars away from not having a business anymore. And when you go in, and I hear this all the time, and this really drives me crazy. People say, well, I can't even help them. I can't do anything for them. They have no money. But you're not bold enough. You're not inspirational enough to talk to that person, man to man, man to woman, woman to woman, woman to man, and say, listen, give me 1 hour of your time. I normally charge for consultations, but I can see just talking to you that you need me worse than you realize. If you're that close to closing the doors. Then if they don't see it, if they don't want to talk, they're probably going to shut down anyway. You know, some people can't smell the coffee. They can't see the forest for the trees. No matter how hard you work with them, no matter what you say to them, they think they've got it all worked out. But I'm telling you, many, many times we walk away when we should have stood up and said, hey, I'm here for one reason, to help you grow your business so that you can continue to eat, continue to pay your bills, you don't have to file bankruptcy, and you don't close the doors. If you don't have any money to spend on marketing, I can tell you now that's what's going to happen. You say, well, Kerry, that's awful bold. Well, you know, they're probably going to, you know what, if they throw you out, they throw you out. But you probably just changed that person's life for the better. And he's going to go home that night. He's going to lay in bed, and he's going to have you in his mind all night long thinking about what you said. You see, we're not just here to sell. We're here to inspire others to do things that they normally wouldn't do, but we ourselves are afraid to be bold because of well, that's not politically correct. I shouldn't tell somebody that. No, you should, because that's what you're in the business to do. You're in the business is to help people change in every way of marketing that you possibly can, to bring customers into their business and to show them how to increase their revenues. That's what each and every one of you are here to do. Get good at what you're doing before you move on. You have to break it down. How many of you played football? How many of you played sports? How many of you in here played sports? I can tell you, I played football for about 1 week. I weighed about 80 pounds soaking wet, and they put me on the line, and I got killed every time I stepped up there. I walked off the football field and said, I'm done, and I went on to pursue my musical career, and that's what I did. But I loved football because even in that short period of time, and believe it or not, I've coached football. I've coached basketball. I can't even dribble a ball, and I won 6 championships in Asheville, North Carolina. So I just because you don't play the game doesn't mean you can't understand the game, but you've got to break it down. I remember when I played football at the end of warm-up, we all huddled up, put our hands together, and yelled, break it down. Down into our positions. That's what we worked on and perfected. We didn't swap positions or move around every single day. Why? Why did we not go from place to place to place to place to place? The coach was on a mission to win. And the only way you win is have priorities and a plan to be successful. And the way that happens is get good at your position. Get good at what you do. Be the best XYZ app builder that there is, period. We have training every single week, and we've put together different plans that you can use, and we've got a platform that's unbelievable, and you hear all these things, and boy, this is the hottest thing this week, and next week I teach you something else to do. You say, man, I've got to do that. And then the next week I teach something else, and it's I've got to do that. And you don't sit there and think for a moment, let me pick something that really piques my interest, that I can get excited about. Let me be the receiver that I know I can be, and get out there and practice hard every day and catch as many balls as I can. Let me build as many of the same apps as I possibly can and make them jump off the phone and jump into my clients' hands. And when they look at that, they say, gosh, I've got to have that. You've got to perfect exactly what you're doing every time you step up to the plate. If you don't, then by the end of next year, you're going to be doing the same thing you're doing this year. You're going to be running around trying to figure it out, and you're still going to throw your hands up and say, gosh, I just can't do this. It's not that you can't do it. It's that you're not doing it. It's not that you can't perfect something. It's that you don't want to take the time to focus and actually do it. And it amazes. I've talked to, gosh, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people over the last 4 years. And when they call me, they say, you know what, Kerry, I just can't do this. And then I say, what have you done? Well, I've tried to get the figuring out of your brain. It's time to focus and know exactly where you're going to be. You've got to do that to succeed. So let's break it down in plain English. You have to break down your goals and your life to be successful. You cannot be all things to everyone and be half, and you can fill in the blanks, and be successful. You can't. You have to know exactly where you're going. You have to look at your goals, and you have to say, you know what? Man, this is what I want to do. How many of you know, and I know everybody throws up some big numbers, and we all love to see the big numbers, and we all know what the big numbers we want and all that stuff. But how many of you have sat down and actually thought about how much money you would love to make next year? Exactly what you want to do financially. Do you want a new car? Do you want a new boat? Do you want a new lake house? Do you want to go to Vegas once a month? Do you want to fly down to the Bahamas, every couple of months and take your wife and your family? Do you want to go on a few cruises? Have you sat down and you said, okay, this is what I want to do. How much is that going to cost me? And what do I got to do to make that happen? Or do you just say, boy, I'd sure like to take a vacation? No, we all want to take a vacation. We'd like to take a vacation, but do you really want to take a vacation? Do you really want to take time for yourself with your family? Have you broke your goals down to reach where you need to be by the end of March so you can take your first quarter vacation? So you can go to Florida. I tell you, I love going to Florida. About a year, but for about 2 years, I was down there all the time. I loved going to South Florida. And I'm hoping in the next couple of years, I'm going to be neighbors with Woodrow. I'll be on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast, but I'll be close enough to where we can have dinner together every now and then. I love Southern Florida. There's nothing like it. But I cannot be half blank and be successful and do what I want to do unless I'm totally focused and break down my goals in everything I want to do. And I mean everything. You have to write it down. You have to know where you want to go. You have to know where you want to be at a certain time. And if you're not doing that, I can tell you, you're going to be all over the board, and you will probably make some money. You'll probably do okay. But are you going to reach those 6 figures that you're dreaming about? Are you going to take that quarterly vacation to Miami and go down there and rent a yacht and cruise around down to the Bahamas and down to the islands? Probably not, because you're not focused where you're going to go. I was talking to Kenny Dutton today, and if I was young today in school, they would probably send me to a psychiatrist, and I would probably be so diagnosed with every letter in the alphabet that they'd probably tell me I'd never make anything of myself. I can tell you now, I think it's called ADD, attention deficit disorder. I can't pay attention to nothing. That's why I don't even have, only television I have is Hulu and Netflix. That's because I cannot sit down and watch a whole movie. I watch a part of it today, and I watch a part of it tomorrow, and I watch a part until I'm done with it. 30 minutes worth of TV to me is about as 30 minutes as I can get, because I cannot focus longer than that. So I have to be focused on what I'm doing to be successful. And that's what's got me to where I'm at. And I can tell you, this past year, I really cracked down and really started following my plan. And this is going to be one of the most successful years I've ever had. First and foremost is faith. And I'm not breaking down any religious doctrine here. It doesn't matter to me what your faith is. Everyone has faith in something. Okay. So I don't want anybody to get upside down here. I just want to put that out there. I can tell you, I believe in the Lord, and that's my faith, and that's my strength and rock every day. But I can tell you, faith is first. Period. Without question. It took running up against a brick wall for me to realize that. Because everything for me has always been business, 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 24/7, 365. My whole life. Until I realized you got to put faith and family first. Second, yourself. It's great to hang out in Facebook. If most of you would take the time you hang out in Facebook and actually read some of the training doctrine that is posted in there, and take that hour or 2 hours a day and spend it wisely and learn something, you will be amazed at what it will do for your business. There are so many great articles posted in there, and whether you believe it or not, technology and sales change every single day. Every day. Mike Cahill posts, he's on a Google, and I can't remember what it's called, but he gets alerts based on keywords that he's put in on articles. And he's kind enough to post those articles in Facebook. And I can tell you, I read just about every single article that's posted, because he and I's reading list is about exactly the same. So I don't have to do what he did, and I can lean on him for what is posted in there. It's excellent material. And I usually read 10, 15 articles a day, and usually watch a webinar. because I want to make sure that I am up to date and my training and development is exactly where it needs to be in every single thing I do. You have Feedly and Google Alerts. Thank you, Michael. You have to have your own development and training regimen. If you don't, make that your today's resolution. Don't even wait till New Year's, because the only way you're going to get to where you want to go is be up on everything. And I'm not talking about 57 posts in Facebook that really gets you nowhere, except you see a bunch of arguments going on because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. I'm talking about the meat information that is posted in Facebook that will actually help you and develop you and get you where you're going. Do the same thing that Michael does. Set up Feedly and Google Alerts and put in your interest, your business interest, and the areas that you're working in. Maybe your niche is automotive. Maybe you're in the automotive niche. Wouldn't it be nice to be up to date on where you're at today when you're out talking to those clients that in that automotive niche, instead of talking about stuff that happened 10 or 15 years ago? I can promise you, automobiles 15 years ago is not the same automobiles that you buy today. You have to be educated in everything you do, and you have to focus and have a strategy. If you're not focused, and I know it's hard to focus, it's very hard for me to focus. I just explained to you, I'm every letter in the alphabet. Focusing to me is the toughest thing I do. I've literally sat down to build apps and had to get up and go walk a couple of miles to get my brain back in line with my thought process and my hands and everything coming together in order to sit down and build an app. Because after 2 or 3 apps, I'm burnt. I'm like, gosh, I can't build another one right now because I can't even think about the color scheme or the branding that I want to put in the app and all those things. So I have to do that. Don't be afraid to stop where you're at. Go get you a cold glass of tea and sit on the front porch. Many times when you guys call me, I tell you, hey, I'm sitting on the front porch. You say, what you doing? I'm sitting on the front porch. That's because I'm refocusing. I'm putting the blinders on. I'm getting back in my arena where I need to be. But my strategy to focus is stop exactly what I'm doing, walk away, and come back with a fresh mind. I don't care if it takes an hour or 2 hours. Come back with a fresh mind and get back on track. And when I do that, it's amazing what will come out of your fingers. It's amazing what will come out of your mind when it's nice and clear. You're out by yourself. You're listening to music. You're sitting on the porch watching the cars go by. You're calling the dogs as they walk down the street. It's amazing what focus and a strategy to stay focused will do for you. Write it down, study it, understand your goals, and stick with it. Now, I'm not naive enough to realize that goals, even though they're in place, goals, even though they're written down, goals, even though they're stamped on your forehead, don't change. Maybe in February, you decided, hey, I don't want to take my wife to Las Vegas. I want to take my wife to Hawaii. Your goal just changed because she told you she didn't want to go to Las Vegas and she wanted to go to Hawaii. So now your goals really changed. Okay. So you're going to work hard and you're going to say, okay, I've got to adjust. It's going to cost another $1,500 to go to Hawaii. We're going to spend a little bit more money. So I need about another $3,000. Now you're going to sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil. You're going to pencil it out. You're going to say, okay, $3,000. I've got 6 weeks. Gosh, man, I got to pop about $500 extra a week. That's an extra app a week. Okay, instead of doing 5 apps this week for the next 3 weeks, I've got to do 6 apps. And so you just put it all together and you adjust. You make those small adjustments. I'll go back to the football analogy. You know, when does a game really take off? When you're watching football, when does a game of football really take off and you see the strategy start to happen? I mean, it's like you're watching the game and you're like, gosh, man, do these guys even really know what they're doing? They're getting paid $50 million to hike a ball and throw it down the field and catch it. I mean, is it really? I mean, think about it. They've prepared exactly what their game plan was. They knew exactly what was going to happen. But what changed? Somebody started doing something a little bit different. So they go in when? They go in at halftime and they adjust their goals. And they say, okay, we've got to start picking up number 62 or 88. And we've got to start picking him up. And instead of running a post route, he's running an out route or down and out or whatever he's doing. We've got to put 2 guys on him. He's already caught 3 touchdowns. And next thing you know, the second half comes and the whole game's changed. And number 88 can't catch a ball to save his life. And actually, number 88 for the Cowboys barely ever catches a ball. But anyway, write it down, study it, understand your goals, and stick with it. But adjust if you need to. That doesn't mean you're not sticking with your goals. You're just making that small little adjustment. It could be just one extra app, maybe an app and a video, maybe an app, a video, and a marketing platform. Okay? Have long-term goals and short-term goals and constantly evaluate your goals. Constantly. You should sit down every single night and evaluate your day. Some of you probably do that. Many of you probably don't. The toughest thing to do is go out and have a rough day. Not one single client is available. You've not talked to anybody except the person standing behind the McDonald's counter because you've been in there 6 times to get a cold drink. Okay? And you say, Kerry, how do you know I do that? Because I've done it. I've done it 1,000 times. I've gone out, man, and nobody wants to talk to me. I can't even walk in a door without being said, hey, I'm busy right now. Or as soon as I walk in the door, it says the manager, nope, manager's not in. He's on vacation for 3 weeks. I mean, I've been there. I've done that. But you know what? You go out, you come back, you say, man, what happened today? And then you start evaluating it. And you sit there and think about it, and you evaluate it, and you say, you know what? I did nothing different than I do when I go out and sell 3 apps a day. Absolutely nothing different. So you don't change anything. You just start a new day. Every day is a new goal. You've got to make sure if those goals aren't happening, evaluate why they're really not happening. And it's probably because you're not leaving early enough. You're coming home too early. You know, it's great to own your own business, isn't it? There's nothing any better than owning your own business. You can get up out of bed when you want. You can go to work when you want. You can come home when you want. Every time somebody says, hey, can you come over at this time and do this? Man, yeah, man, I own my own business. I'm going to tell you something. If that's the mindset you have, somebody else that put you on the schedule. Because that mindset, you will go absolutely broke. It's tougher to own a business and set a schedule than it is to work for somebody else. Because now you have no one to answer to but yourself. Until no money's coming in and your spouse or your better half or whoever it is comes in and says, you know what? We've not paid rent in 2 months because you've not done anything. You've not got off your butt. You've come home every day at 3 o'clock and you leave every day at 1 o'clock and you've not made any sales. And, you know, you say, well, you don't know what to say. That's why you have to have long-term goals and short-term goals, and you constantly have to evaluate them. You have to stay focused. I see this word everywhere. Focus this, focus that, focus groups. You know, everything's about focus. You don't realize how important that is until you're making your own bacon. And sometimes that bacon comes up raw. And you don't have any eggs to go with it. Next thing you know, there's no milk in the fridge. Because you did not stay focused. Follow one course until successful. I've got that question mark up there just so it would remind myself. I had the funniest, what do you call that? Facebook instant message I've ever had in my life. I can just about ask anybody on this call right now and say, what does Kerry Miller sell? What has Kerry Miller's focus been for the last 3 years? What is the one product that he has has put together and that he stays on, that works for him. And he doesn't sway from that. He puts the blinders on, and he's still selling it to this day. And every single person on this call, if you've known me for more than a month, you know exactly what it is. Well, this person messaged me and they said, Kerry, can I ask you a question? What is it that you, this is a person that's been around for a long time. What is it that you do that makes you successful? Because I've tried it all. And I typed back in capital letters, really. That's right, digital business card. I said, really? In capital letters, really? And they said, no, I'm serious. They said, you know, what is it you do? I said, I do one thing. I'm not swayed from that. You can look at the 1,000+ apps I've built over the last 3 years. They're all exactly the same product. No extras, nothing else but the digital business card. That's all. Now, I can't tell you because now, guess what? After that long a period of time, I've mastered how to sell that product. I've mastered every button. I can explain to you every detail, exactly how it works, how you can use it as a business owner. And it's taken me 3 years to get there. 3 years to get there. And I'm still with the same product. Now, I am expanding. Everybody knows Woodrow, and I speak very highly of Woodrow when it comes to his video skills. Woodrow can sell video like walking into a candy store needing a Snickers bar. He's very good at that, and he's very good at the apps. So he's been bundling his apps and his videos for a very long time. You know what? I know he's good at it, and I know I'm pretty good at what I do, but I have never lost my focus because I didn't want to combine the two because I can't. I'm not that kind of person. So I've stayed strictly with what now with the tools that he shared the other day, the expert spokesperson. I'm adding that to my toolbox. The digital business card with the marketing platform. Now I'm adding a video. And you know what? That may be 3 things I sell all of next year until I get this video thing down as good as some of you have it. After 3 years, I'm just now adding another tool to my toolbox. And I'm working right now on hiring a couple of people to do the birthday club because the birthday club is very, very hot. But that birthday club app, if you've looked at that birthday club app, all that is a digital business card turning on the birthday. Out of my wheelhouse, I've just turned on one feature, and you know what? I will learn that feature and I will understand it, and I don't have to go anywhere else. I don't have to buy anything online. I don't have to add anything to my apps. I don't have to do none of that stuff because I'm not technical. If it breaks, I don't know how to fix it. I want to use what works. And so I'm typing this all out. And what I'm telling you, I'm typing this all out. And you come back and say, really, is that all you do? That's all I do. I can open up platforms and show you every single business card I've ever built. That's all I do. It takes me about 10 minutes to get them built, out the door, and checks in the checking account. That is all. Oops. Wow, what did I do there? That is all I do. I hit something. Screwed up the trading slides, I know that. So if you have any questions on what Kerry does, I sell the digital business card. This past week, I've started adding the spokesperson videos. And we're going to talk about the spokesperson videos next week. I highly recommend if you're not doing those spokesperson videos, start doing it. I know some of you in here do it. They fly off the shelf. It's like taking candy from a baby. It really is. If you want to go out and collect $100 bills all day long, start selling spokesperson videos coupled with your apps. And go, let me tell you where you go first. You go out and you sell to your current clients now. Sell to you'll go out and sell 4 or 5 a day. Go back, put them on their video, put them on their apps. They're happy as they can be, and they give you $100. I mean, it's honest. Honestly, it's those. And that program, and I know some of you use videos to do intros and outros. I do intros and outros using Camtasia. Okay, I don't have videos. I use intros and outros off of Camtasia. I build them myself. But throw an intro on there and an outro. I mean, $100 to $200, easy, easy. Set them up for SEO and charge them a monthly residual. It's just that simple. But that's what I'm adding to 2017. The digital business card with the birthday feature and a video. So if you ask me next December what I did, I'll tell you those 3 things. And if one of them doesn't work, I won't do it. Or if it works for a while and it stops working, I'll stop doing it. So follow one course until successful. And that's what I did. I tried the full-blown app. I hit the wall. I crashed and burned. I was feeding these clients with so much information. They looked at me like I had 16 eyes and 4 ears. And it was like, get out of my face, dude. I don't even know what you're talking about. I got way too technical. And I said, man, this has got to change. Developed the digital business card, and the rest is history. You have to make a schedule. We talked about it just a minute ago. It is so easy to change your schedule every day. So easy to change your schedule every day. Now, the only time I adjust my schedule this morning, I had quite a bit to do. I started building apps at 6:30. And I get up every morning about 6, between 5:30 and 6. And I started building apps at 6:30. I usually get up, have breakfast and all that. I eat breakfast at my desk because I've just had a lot to do today. And I had to get ready for training also. So if you're going to adjust your schedule, don't adjust it up, adjust it back because you're so busy that you have to add an extra hour every now and then. But you have to make a schedule, and you have to keep that schedule. Now, listen to what I'm going to say. This is very important. There's not a parent and or a person out there who does not know what extracurricular activities they have in their life. If you've been taking your girlfriend out or your wife or your better half or whoever it is, maybe you've been meeting with the guys every night, every Friday night at 8 o'clock to do whatever you do. If that is part of your schedule, don't change that. You will regret it if you do. And if you got a girlfriend, you probably won't have her very long. But you have got to stick with your schedule. But in that schedule, you have got to schedule in your personal time. I'm as serious about that as anything I can share with you tonight. Do not shut down your life for your business. Live your life because you're in business for yourself. Understand that? I want to stop right here for just a second. I'll let the video catch up. Does everybody understand you have to put time in your schedule for your loved ones, for your friends, and for yourself? I want to make sure everybody understands that when you are making a schedule, that you are doing it not just for your business, but for every single thing around you that you make happen. Once you've gone through and set your goals and you've broke everything down and you've broken down into groups and you know every single thing you're going to do, start making your schedule. Absolutely make a schedule. Make a schedule that you will see visually every single day. Don't hide it in Excel or whatever you use on your computer. Don't just open it up, fill it in, and put it away. Print it out and put it on a cork board or stick it on the front of your computer or wherever you can so that you see that every single day. Every day, okay? And if you see that every single day, then you will keep your schedule. If you put it in Excel and put it away and you don't print it out and you don't realize, oh my gosh, I've missed 6 appointments, then your business is going to suffer from it. Once you've gone through and set your goals and have broke down everything you're going to do, Make a schedule. And if you notice I put that in there twice with 2 different slides, make a schedule. That's very important. Just write things down and forget about it. Check it off as you go. Use highlighters to show accomplishments. I'm not talking about a computer or anything else. Get you a day planner. Go to the Staples or whatever you guys have in your area and get you one of those big calendars and put it on the wall and write your stuff on there and get you a handful of highlighters. And green means accomplished, and red means you sucked, and yellow means I got halfway done. You know, figure out what your color code system is, and I can promise you, I learned this in the Navy as a Navy recruiter. We use this system. You will be amazed at the end of the month how much red ink you got on that paper. And when you look at that, then you really need to sit down and start evaluating your goals and exactly what your plans were for the day. It could be something simple as you're planning too much. You get wrapped up and you got too many things going on, and you got irons and 57 fires. I'm going to tell you now, take 56 of those irons and throw them off into cold water and let them sit there and cool off, and focus on one until you get it going, and you get it going in the right direction. And don't change until it is. And some of you are probably sitting there saying, you know what, Kerry? That's kind of BS what you're saying. I make money. What you're saying is really not true. I make money every week. Think what you could be making. There's a difference in making money and achieving your goal. You know the worst thing that can happen to a salesman? I used to tell my sales guys this all the time when I had my roofing company. They would go out and they'd make a sale first thing in the morning. And I hated when that happened. Although, I mean, I liked the money. Don't get me wrong. I liked the sale. But I hated when my good guys went out and they made a sale early in the morning, because they shut down the rest of the day. All salesmen have that in them. Oh my gosh, man, I had great success today. Let me just go ahead and take the rest of the day off. I made $500 and I'm in good shape, man. I'm going to wind up making $2,500 this week. And you shut down at 10 o'clock in the morning because you made a sale and you're all excited. The next day you go out and that excitement is there, but what happens? You didn't make any sales. Now that $500 turned into what? $250 a day. Come Friday, you're down because you didn't make any sales on Tuesday, and you didn't get out, and you didn't follow your goals, and you didn't do the things you were supposed to do. So come Friday, you still hadn't made any sales. You walk in the house and your significant other says, "Hey, what'd you do this week, Kerry?" "Man, you know what, honey? I started off strong on Monday, but I don't know what happened. I only made $500 this week." And you were supposed to make $500 a day. And you know what, Kerry? We've got a budget of $2,500 a week because that's what you've been doing. And we're living that lifestyle now. And now that we're living that lifestyle, you cannot do that anymore. And now you're really down in the gutter. And you got to go out and just say, "Well, honey, I'll get up and it's Saturday." And you know, there ain't no business is going to talk to you on a Saturday. They ain't nobody. There's nobody that's decision makers in an office on a Saturday. But so you don't have to listen to everything. You go out on a Saturday and it just drives you deeper in the ground. All because you got excited on a Monday morning because you made a sale and you didn't do anything else the rest of the week. And you know what you blame? You blame, don't you? You blame everybody else that you were unable to accomplish your goals. And I can guarantee you, if you called me on the phone and said, "Kerry, I will pay you whatever it takes to fly down to my place, and please sit down and show me where I went wrong. And I will look at your calendar and there's not a red mark, a yellow mark, or a green mark on anything. And you started off and you didn't adjust your plan the rest of the week." I'll guarantee it. That's without question. That is what happens. And many of you may not admit that to me or everybody in this group right now, but I can promise you that you're telling yourselves, "You know what? Oh, Kerry just hit the nail on the head. Instead of coming home at 10, I should have stayed out and made 3 more sales." And then if I had a bad day on Tuesday, I still went out, but I know that I can fall back on Monday for my 1 sale a day, and I hit the ground running hard on Wednesday, and I pick up another couple of sales. I've got my 5 sales for the week. I've made my $2,500. Everything's good, and you just roll on from there. And it happens. And I can tell you why I know it happens, because I used to do it. My biggest crutch, not a crutch, my biggest failure was making that hot sale on a Monday. Even when I was in Navy recruiting, I'd recruit 1 or 2 on Monday, and I'd shoot. I made my goal for the month, and I didn't go out and recruit the rest of the month. The next month, my number showed it because I didn't put anybody in the Navy. See, it doesn't matter what you're selling. If you're selling a physical product or a job or what you're selling, if you don't go out and work every single day with a plan, with a schedule, writing it down and following it, you'll make some money. But you're not in a business. You've got a hobby. And that's what you have to decide. Do I have a business or do I have a hobby? Is this going to sustain my life so I can work for myself? Or do I have to work 2 jobs and work at the gas station at night and go sell apps when I can? And the difference between that and success is exactly what we've been talking about tonight. Get in there. If you're using Excel, highlight it however you want to highlight it. Know what your colors mean. Know what the red is, know what the green is, know what the blue is, know what the yellow is, or whatever colors you want to use, and pin it right in front of your computer, not on your computer screen, because you're going to turn that off, right? That's not going to be on your computer screen every day. And if you turn it, the minute you turn it off, the minute it's not going through your little eyeballs up into your brain, making all that little stuff in your brain work, where you're telling yourself, hey, I got to pick up the pace today. I've got 6 appointments and I'm still sitting here. My first appointment's at 10 o'clock and it's 9:45 and he's 30 minutes away. If it's in front of you, it's real. If it's tucked away on a disc somewhere, it's a fantasy. You've got to plan out every single thing you do. Schedule me time. If you do not get anything else out of this training tonight, take exactly what I'm fixing to say to heart. You have to schedule time for you and your loved ones and all those around you. If you don't, you're going to hit that proverbial brick wall, and it's very, very, very hard to recover. Me time is your time. Because you take me time every hour of every day, 365 days a year. But you've got to take time so that you do not burn yourself out. You have to take time to where you can restart your engines. Take some time off. Go to the water park. Go take a walk in the park. Go out to dinner. I said it earlier, and I mean this sincerely. If you've had date night every Friday for the last 10 years, don't stop date night on Fridays. If you've gone and done things on the weekends with your loved ones and those that you care about, don't stop that. It will be the biggest mistake of your entire life. And I don't care who it is you're doing it with, but if you've been doing it, you got to continue doing it, because if all you're doing is sitting there working, you're going to burn yourself out and you will be done. And the opportunity to start those engines only comes by once every now and then. It's hard. Very, very hard. I had a very successful business. Very, very, very successful business. And it went in the toilet in minutes, matter of minutes. And it's not because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I was working hard and I had a plan and I had a goal. It's because I was working so hard, I wasn't paying attention to everything that was going on around me. In minutes, I went from hero to zero. I literally locked myself in the house with the blinds closed. Didn't talk to anyone, didn't want anybody to talk to me. It was just me and my wife and my 2 boys, and I didn't have much to say to them. I was broken. I was tired. I was crushed, and I could not start my engines again. And I had a friend call me one day. He said, Kerry, he said, could you do something for me? I said, yeah, James, what would you like me to do? He said, my boss wants to start a magazine, and he wants it totally automated, and it's a for sale by owner magazine, and he wants to franchise it. And I told him that you are the man for the job. And I said, James, I don't work for anybody. He said, no, you can work for yourself. He wants to contract with you to put it all together. And I said, I've got to think about it. And I thought about it for 3 more weeks because I just could not get out of the ditch. And I picked up the phone and I called him and said, James, I said, I will meet. I said, I can't promise you anything, but I'll meet. And we launched a very successful for sale by owner magazine, franchised it within 1 year, had about 20 franchises, and everything was, I was back where I needed to be. So when I tell you what I'm saying, I'm not saying it because I read it. I'm telling you because I've lived it. I've been there. Many of you have been there. So you know what I'm talking about. For some of you, this may be that pick me up. The app business may be the business that you needed to get you where you wanted to go. Stay focused. Make a plan. But you have to take the me time. You have to smell the roses so that you don't hit that proverbial wall and lose everything you have. Over the last 3 weeks, we talked about reflection. Looking back so that the view looking forward is even clearer. Knowing the things that you did to where you need to adjust, the things that you need to do to get where you need to get there. You have to reflect on everything you did over the last year. And I'm not talking about in the Facebook group. I'm not talking about on instant messenger. I'm not talking about through email. I'm talking about sitting down in a quiet place. You take a couple of days off if you have to, where it's just you, and find a quiet place and reflect on everything you did, the good and the bad. Fix the bad, continue with the good, and you're going to be successful. You have to stay positive. I know this better than anybody. You guys, I hear people tell me, say, Kerry, you're the happiest person I know. No, I'm not. I try to be, but I can tell you, I have bad days. Everybody has bad days. Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being positive about what could go right. Don't worry about what can go wrong, because if it goes wrong, it's going to go wrong, and there's not a dang thing you can do about it. I promise you that. Okay? Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and start being positive about what could go right. How many apps are you going to sell this week? Not how many apps you didn't sell last week. How many business cards are you going to push out this week? Not how many business cards that you didn't sell last year. The time to start is now, and stop waiting. Be grateful. There's one thing I've learned over this last 2 years is be grateful for what you have. I'm not a complainer. I never have been. I get upset sometimes and fly off the handle, but I don't really complain too much, because nobody wants to listen to it. Stop complaining. Make things happen. You know, nobody else cares. I'm telling you right now. Whether you believe it or not, cares. They want to see results. Your family wants to see results. Your friends want to see results. You're a businessman. You're an entrepreneur. Everyone around you is watching you to see results. Quit complaining. You know, go take a 5-mile hike and complain to the wind, because I promise you, nobody cares. All right. Clear the clutter. If you don't do anything tonight when you get off this training, clear the clutter. Be very laser focused on what you're going to do. Get rid of the excess. Don't start 57 projects and expect any of them to be successful. It's not going to happen. One at a time. How do you eat an elephant? There's an old saying. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. That's the way you'd have to look at business. How are you going to run your app business next year? One app at a time. You're going to add video to your apps? One app, one video at a time. You're going to add the birthday program? One birthday club, one video at a time. You can't be worried about what's coming down the road. And don't put too many of these things on your plate. I just told you it's taken me 3 years to add something new. Why? Because I was laser focused on being very, very, very good at what I do. Segment your priorities and your goals. You have to break everything down. Success isn't just what you accomplish in your life. It's about what you inspire others to do. And there is nothing that inspires people more than successful people who got there because they know what they are doing and what they are talking about. Period. Make a schedule. And most importantly, schedule me time. Next week's going to be our last training of the year. It's hard to believe that this year is gone. I hope over this last 3 weeks with the training that we've had, that you've got something out of that as Brian Thornwell always says, I hope you gleaned a golden nugget. If you didn't, you probably didn't listen or you didn't watch the replay. But I hope you gleaned a golden nugget. And I hope you got out of it something that will inspire you to be successful. We're going to continue next week. I knew tonight was going to go long. I didn't want to go another hour. We're going to go back into the marketing platform next week. We're going to finish up the marketing platform, breaking that down. And we had a reseller out in Arizona, who is interested in setting up a kiosk system. I taught this probably 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I don't remember. But I'm going to show you how to take the landing page that you can create a kiosk with. We're going to do a little bit of research, and we'll have some places where you can buy some cheap Android 7-inch that you can set up, at these stores. It's a great residual program. You set up the texting, and then you set up their coupons right inside the texting platform. Only thing you need is the one app for lead generation. I'm going to show you exactly how to build that, show you how to go in and sell it to the customer. All you're going to do is set up their texting and through the marketing platform. If they've got Facebook page, great. You're not going in to sell a Facebook page. You're not going in to sell a Twitter page. All you're going to go in and you're going to sell them is how to market via email and text marketing through a kiosk system where they receive coupons via text message every single week or every other week. It's a great program, great residual program. These programs can cost up to $500 to $750 to set up. Awesome, dude. Yeah, I'm a KISS kind of guy. It's a very easy system set up. I'm going to show you in about 30 minutes how to set it up. Then we're going to go finish up the marketing platform. Then the next week, we will be off between Christmas and New Year's. A lot of people are going to be out of town. It's going to be one heck of a long weekend. It's because both holidays fall on a weekend. A lot of people taking off. We're going to take a break, restart our engines, and come back on January the 4th. If you're not on next week, I want to tell everybody that's on this week, and I'm going to say the same thing next week. I cannot thank each one of you enough for allowing me to be a part of your family and for allowing the AppWizardStudio team to be there for you each and every day. Mark and Woodrow and Nancy and myself, we wish you the very best of what's left for 2016. But we know that 2017 is going to be better and better and better each and every month. We're going to come up with many different things, just like we did this year. We're going to teach you how to bundle. We're going to start off with our bundling series, how to bundle packages together. And I'm going to give you ideas of what to bundle together, what to go out and sell, and how to put those bundles together, not getting out of focus, but just adding one simple tool. Many of you probably don't even think about the reputation management tool that we have in the platform that you could easily go out and sell for anywhere from $50 to $100 a month. The in-house reputation management system that all you have to do is add one button to an app, bundle that, sell it separately, but bundle that within your app along with the marketing platform. What that will do to change a business when they understand exactly what is happening right under their nose. You don't have to have Yelp and Silver Spoon or whatever that is, and TripAdvisor. You don't need all that stuff. And I'm going to tell you, and this is what people need to understand. I don't care what they're saying on there. I need to know what they're saying while they're sitting here. I need to know if I've got a problem in my business right now. I may not even look at Yelp. That was just some page that someone built, and it's got a bunch of crap on it that I don't even know about. But if you've got that reputation management system happening, and he's getting a text message, and he's getting an email, and he's getting that information immediately, he can fix the problem right then before the business falls in. But we're going to talk about bundling, and we're gonna put all these packages again together, all these training series together like we did this year. Very successful year. I love each and every one of you dearly. I mean, you are my family, and you guys don't realize what you mean to me. You guys and gals, when I say guys, I mean everybody. You just don't know what you mean to me. And I want to personally thank you for allowing me to come into your life every single Wednesday and talk and share and teach. And I know Woodrow, he and I were talking today. You guys mean the world to us. You're loyal. You're here. You work hard, and we're here to help you as a team. Nancy's always in billing. She works her butt off, making sure everything is taken care of and making sure that you're staying active and following the billing. And of course, we all know how hard Mark works taking care of support. So with that said, God bless you all. Good night. And I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday on our last training for the year. Have a good night, everyone.